Stop hitting behind the golf ball and start hitting the best shots of your life. Hitting behind the golf ball is frustrating, it costs you shots. It's my simple drills, you're going to learn to enjoy yourself more, hit it straighter, hit it longer and more consistently. Now, tip number 3 is a little scary. People do struggle with this one, but if you can get the grips with tip 3, it will transform the way you strike the ball and it will stop you hitting that ground before the golf. Let's start with thinking about horizontal. So how you move this way in the ground. So physically towards the target with mass or away from it. Tour pros move up to 4 inches across on their downswing with their pelvis. So they move 4 inches across. We need to get that movement happening for you, and we need to get it moving at the right time if you want to hit ball and turf strikes and stop hitting that ground early. So downswing, I want to think when I'm hitting the ball that I'm getting my hip over my lead foot. So I'm moving it basically 4 inches across. Now, the reason often golfers don't do that is because they're not using their hips correctly, so at the right time. So they tend to spend time moving their hips over to the right, staying there, and then the downswing, as the arms pull down, they spend all their time trying to horizontally move back this way, often not achieving it, hitting the ground first. Or if they do achieve it, if they're only moving this way on the downswing, they don't get any time to use any of the other really good forces, so maybe like a vertical force or a twisting, a torque force. This is why we see golfers get very square on at impact as well. And that's also this kind of chunk in the ground first. So let's get your horizontals working for you. So think about it this way. The way you're going to get better at timing your shift to the left that we want, or towards the target, is I actually want you to shift away from the target more at the start. So the pattern we see from good players is they move about 1 inch away with their hips from the target at the start. So they literally sway with their pelvis at the start. And then when the club gets to about here, starting to move up, they then start to rotate their pelvis kind of back towards target. So they're starting the journey of getting that 4 inches across on the downswing into impact at this point of their backswing. Amateurs are often doing a backswing and then trying to think of a downswing, and that's just no one's quick enough to process that information in that time. So this is a great drill for getting that pelvis across. What you need to do is imagine you've got a big dot here on the small of your back, right down here at the base of your back. And what I want you to do with this dot in your golf swing is I want you to feel like you sway it away from the target, so this way, to then as soon as you start trying to take the club up in the air above your hips, above your shoulders, above your head, and make your backswing, feel like this dot that's moved away from the target is starting to turn and rotate back towards the target. So really focusing on this shift across to then turn it back towards target. So shift it across and then rotate it back towards target. But the trick is to make sure at the same time you're trying to get your arms and the club moving away from this dot. So to get better horizontal movements on your downswing, move across more, to try and move that low point more, ball, then turf strikes. To stop hitting that ground early, what I want you to do is sway away from the target with this imaginary dot at the bottom of your back, turn it back towards target while then still stretching your arms. So you're basically, in effect, starting to get quite a contradiction in feelings of movements. You're getting a stretch, you're trying to stretch your body out. Stretching your bodies out is a really positive thing for springing back on the way down. That's helping us strike much cleaner with the ground. Which leads us on to point 2. Remember, if you're liking the videos, hit that subscribe button down below. Look at the pinned comment as well. We're going to start chatting about your golf swing in there. Let me know what you think of that question. I also have a weekly newsletter if you're not signed up for that. Link down below as well. Come and join the free learning community. I'm actually giving some free lessons away in there as well. So point 2, we've got our small of our back moving away from target back towards target. Now we're stretching your arms out. How do we stretch our arms out? Now, if you can focus on your trail arm, so for me, my right arm, and start getting some control of how much it's bending, this is going to help you with point 2, which is trying to make sure your trail arm is extending through impact. We see it from good players where their trail arm straightens out and extends across their body on the way through, where we don't see it with people who struggle with hitting the ground first. The reason good players are good at extending that trail arm out in front of them on the way through is because they don't put too much bend in it on the way back. They have some leeway. So as they start their downswing, Remember, they're horizontally shifting across. They've already started doing it in their backswing. They have a little bit of bend in this arm, which then comes out to hit the ball. What we see from amateurs more often than not is excessive bending of trail arm, so it really tucks in, bends here. Then an excessive straightening early. They can't extend now. They're almost doing their extension here, where the good players are doing it down here. And this early extension here then creates these kind of mucky impacts that we see where everything starts breaking down and we get the chunks and the fads. So easiest drill to practice that next time you are at the range. Take your club, take a medium iron. Then what I want you to do is just take your lead hand off and hook it under trail elbow here. Now as you turn back, I want you to just try and feel like you're pulling this elbow in towards you while at the same time laying that club down, which is my trail hand bending. Don't let this elbow go this way, which is the shoulder basically rotating more forwards on the backswing, which is such a common move, which is why we see the buried bounce back swings that crash. So again, hook underneath that trail arm with your lead hand. As you move back, just feel like you're pulling it basically this way, so in towards you, but still bending trail hand. Another way you can do this, once you get the feel of that, this is what I do before shots. Take my trail hand off and just feel like I'm exposing my palm up to the sky of my trail hand and not bending this arm in, and then try and recreate that feeling in my shot. You've all seen it, pros, boom, out here as they go through. Taking this trail arm from bent to extending through is such a powerful move for getting that strike moving where the club hits the ball and then the ground second. The trouble with amateurs, they try to do that move where they've got no hope because they're already too bent here, then too straight. If they extend anymore, they're literally just going to crash and smash the ground even more, and nobody wants to do that. And the last one, this is the tricky one. This is the one that panics golfers, but you need to think and start getting control of your vertical forces. So think about when you're hitting the ball, there's an element of this force in there. Now people see the action of me going up and they think, oh right, so you've got to jump, you've got to get up in the air to hit the ball, so you're actually coming up. Well, there is vertical force. That is the result. The vertical force pushes you up. And you see some players physically move as they hit, like their lead foot moves and what have you, but you'll see other great players who don't show those elements, but they're still using vertical forces. You just can't see them, but they're there. And when it comes to controlling low points, so literally how high or low the club is delivered, your verticals are key to helping you control this. So if I just literally go down with no jump, I'm going to hit back here. I mean, I would go a foot underneath. If I do one where I go down and jump too early, I would top it. I came over the top of it because I was literally too high. I was coming up, the jump wasn't timed. Lots of amateur golfers who are hitting the ground first don't use hardly any vertical force at the right time. And if they do use any, they're definitely not timing it into the ball. So here's the drill for you. It's going to be scary, but it's really going to help you. So what I want you to do, top of your backswing stop, downswing, feel like you're pushing to the ground with both feet. This is the one. Feel like both feet are going, pushing down. And that's right early in the transition where you feel like you're pushing into both feet on the ground. Then to get up through your lead foot. So practice your downswing, literally go down and then try and hit one. To hit the ball, you're going to have to come up because the vertical force, like I say, we all see this, we see the jump. It's what goes before it that allows you to see the reaction, which is me in the air. People focus on the end, they don't look at what goes before. So it's the fact that I go down that allows me to go up. Amateurs aren't pushing down, certainly at the right time. Now, if you find this hard off 2 feet, you can do it with your feet together. So if you find it hard doing your normal stance, I have a lot of success with students where we get their feet together and you feel like they put a bounce in, so down and up to hit the ball. So, but the down, you want to feel like the down comes down as you pull the club down to then go up to strike the ball. Controlling low point with verticals is key for better strikes. Now, if you want to know the secret to better drives, this video here is helping so many golfers hit their driver way better.